Hello ladies and gentle ladies, we're back with another stream on Industria. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. Yeah, so let's that. There we go. So yeah, we're basically going to continue off where we left last time, and we're going to try and basically finish off, hopefully, the mixer today. Is the plan. We'll see how that goes. Not sure how that's going to go. So I've actually done quite a lot since the last stream though, but I will have to briefly walk you through what I've done. But yeah, okay, so first things first, as you can see, the fluid rendering is now pretty perfect, I would say. It no longer kind of stretches or anything. It now correctly tiles. And you'll also see that the GUI is completely different as well, because I've just completely redone the GUI. And I just literally did this in the past like 5 minutes. So this is yeah, this is the new GUI basically. And you'll see there's a few things that are a little bit different than before. So we don't just have a single fluid area anymore. We don't have as many slots as we had before. And you see we also have 2 slots here that we didn't have before. So we're gonna need to briefly go over this, and I'll kind of explain what's going on. So you'll also see that when these are in, this will now cause this to spin, and if I were to take it out, you'll see it stop spinning. So that was a very basic thing I did, but it is worth noting. Hello Lime, welcome to the and yeah, okay, so what are all these slots, or what is going on here? So basically I've decided that I'm going to have an input bucket slot and an output bucket slot, just because I think that's reasonable to have. So this basically, you can put a bucket in there and it'll fill this up. You can put a bucket in here and it will extract from this fluid as well. Now this recipe doesn't have any output fluid, and the only input fluid is water, which is fine at the moment. So it won't be useful for this recipe specifically, but there might be recipes where instead of outputting an item, it outputs a fluid, or maybe it outputs both. So that's worth considering here. Yeah, the other thing, as you can see, the energy bar is now here, like on the left, like in a box as well. So it's no longer displayed weirdly. Just as like a weird square. Yeah, and I've made the inventory smaller because it just didn't need to be as big as it was, to be quite frank. And you'll also see I have changed the recipe, so it's now a 1:4 ratio, which is kind of roughly somewhat accurate, at least kind of as accurate as you can go. Now, there's a few things I do need to do though. You'll see that the water here doesn't actually decrease when a recipe finishes, which it should. And likewise, I'm not sure it would output a fluid either. So that's kind of important. I haven't actually tested the bucket stuff either, but I'm pretty sure those will work. And then the other thing is I want to actually render the items in the actual block entity renderer here when it's processing. I think that would be nice. So that's kind of all we're going to do in terms of this today. I don't think we need to do anything else. Not right now, anyways. So let's go ahead and get started with those. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do... What should we do first? Should we get the rendering done first? Or not? Okay, let's make sure the fluid works. That should be fairly easy to check. So I will come in here. And you'll see this is also quite different since I had to add a bunch of stuff in here. But if we come to the place where the recipe is crafted, item stack output. So here you go. So it does recipe.craft. Now our recipe here doesn't change the fluid stack at all. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to say we'll just have to do it directly in here basically. So this dot get input fluid tank. I don't suppose we have that as a variable. We do not, so we can't do that unfortunately. So we can say get input fluid tank dot amount negative equals input fluid dot amount. I think that's it. I think that's actually all it needs to do. If we do that and then put a stack of that in there, let's just check to see if that will decrease. We should be able to see it. Maybe not. Okay, let's do this then. So let's create a variable. Oh, there's two occurrences apparently. Ah, the other one is up here. We only want this occurrence. That's fine. Let's go ahead and out amount, and let's out amount. We should be able to see if it actually does anything. So it does seem to. It's possibly just because it's in millibuckets, and the recipe doesn't consume much. I think it should be happening. It's just quite likely that maybe it's inputting too fast, so we're not even seeing anything. Although there doesn't seem to be a single frame, does there? That it changes it. I mean, can we see it actually in the world? This is like a bigger progress bar if you think of it like that. I'm not seeing any change. Maybe it doesn't update the client on the fluid level. It should, because I do just send an update, which should just go ahead and write the fluid tank. You'll probably find that... Yeah, I think we'll find... You know what? We can test it. We can do that. And then what we'll see is... Yeah, there you go. So now it actually goes down, and it kind of visibly goes down. I'm curious if that actually is visible kind of in the world or not. Like, does it visibly go down? I need to fix this at some point. I don't know why this happens. I don't know if this is an issue I've had with all of my block entities and only just realized it. But for some reason, if I put 2 stacks of the same item in, it just throws an error and it crashes. Which is apparently an issue with write MBT. I'm wondering if that's because of get held stats. What does held stat? I don't think it's that. It's really weird. I don't know why it would do that. Like, why is it combining the stat? It's very strange. So that's coming from here, which is coming from here, as expected. Which is obviously from there. So it's when it syncs, which makes sense. Hello, Shiro JR. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm not sure why it does this. I don't know if it's an issue with write MBT. I don't think so. I don't think it could be. I guess what I could do actually is I could do this. And I could just print the compound. Oh, the game's crashed. Right, so I can't hot swap. I was about to try and hot swap it. I obviously can't do that. So let's have a look-sees. We'll go and kind of just print this and see what it says. I think what's probably happening is for some reason this would be combining it, but I don't know why it would do that. Because it does just do an MBT list for each stack. It grabs the stack is not empty, it puts the slot, and then it does the stack to MBT. I don't see how there could be a problem with that. But, yeah, we'll try. Right, so the items are empty, the items are coming through. It's dying because of this one, I think. No? Why are the items sometimes empty? What is happening? Anyways, let's do that, and then let's do that. So before it crashed, we should be able to see what it was. Yes, there is another stream wide. Thank you for noticing. Here you go. So count 64 and then count 64. So they're 2 separate slots. It's happening here. So inside write MBT. Oh, right. So it's not even printing that, is it? Inventory. Stacks.getSlot.split amount. No, this isn't the right place. The lines are diverged, I think. It constantly wrote to MBT because it was processing, so the progress was, which it shouldn't really do, to be honest. Like, that's not ideal. I mean, it should write to MBT, but it shouldn't sync. Those should be handled by the property delegates, which I could probably fix. Like, if I go, Oh, it also does update the energy. And the energy does actually have to sync because the energies are long. We can't send that over as short. So actually it genuinely has to sync every tick. Which is I mean, it's only whilst it's running. What I will probably do at some point in the future is I will make it so it only sends what's chain, which shouldn't be too hard to do. It just involves kind of having a lot of like tracking, which should be okay. But right now that's not something in fixing, because it's not that big of a deal. It's not sending over that much data. What's more important is why it's crashing, and I don't know why it's crashing. Let's yeah, I don't know why I tried to print there. Because that's not very useful, because obviously it crashes inside of write MBT, so that's not really gonna help. Let's do this. And let's sout held stack. And that way I can actually see what the stacks themselves are instead. I'm gonna plonk that in there. Go. Did you see what I got working? Yes, I did see what you got working. It looks very cool. Very cool. The issue could... Oh, no, I don't think the issue could be actually. That doesn't make sense, does it? Okay, well, we're going to print this. And what we want to see is what the stacks are, right? It should be 2 stacks of 64. It shouldn't be 128 or whatever. Okay, so if I do that and then do that, so it's going to crash. Of course it's going to. So we're going to come down to the very bottom. Interesting. So look at that. It's got 128 raw bauxite plus 64 raw bauxite. Interesting. How? How is that possible? The issue must be with get held stacks, right? Item, stack, set stack. So those all just set held stacks, but it's at the slot. I don't see how. Look, it even caps it here. It says stack.cap count. To the get max count of the stack, which would be 64. No, I found that even only putting in like less than 100, less than 99, it still does the same thing. I've probably done something stupid, I imagine. I imagine this isn't meant to happen. What I'm thinking it... No, that doesn't make sense, actually. Yeah, I don't know, actually. I was going to say maybe it's some way that I was modifying the stack itself, but I'm not doing that with the input. I'm only doing that with the output. So I don't really know. It's quite weird. But I'm going to try... Let's do this, right? So let's put in So we have 4 plus 64. So that's going to be 68, which is less than 99, right? Oh, okay, they've gone. Sure. Okay, we're going to put 2 in then. So it's going to be 66. It still crashes. It says it's 100. So 66 has become 100. I really don't understand how this is possible. Possibly. It does feel like it's mixing up the slots. I don't know why it would be doing that, though. Why would it be doing that? Maybe it constantly adds them all and puts them in the same stack? I feel like it's the screen handler, but that doesn't really make any sense. I mean, it could be. Okay, actually, one thing I will do, just because I've noticed it, not because I think it's an issue, is I'm gonna make this a variable. So that I'm not grabbing that everything. I'm not sure that I don't think that will make a difference. But I'm gonna do that anyways. I don't know. I don't think it could be anything in the screen handler. Maybe 66 became 100 because the 2 got added over and over again. Test if you add 10 to 64, does it become 104? Sure, we can test that. But I don't know why it would do that, right? Like, why would it do that? That doesn't really make sense. The only way I can think is if it writes it, but if it reads it differently from how it writes it, maybe. So this just calls read MBT of a compound type named inventory. So let's check that it writes it as inventory, which is a MBT list of compounds. So that's correct. It's reading and writing in the same way. It's going through each inventory. Yeah, so creating one of those for each inventory, and it's writing the MBT for that inventory. So let's check that when it reads it, we're doing the same thing, right? So we want to say, God, I'm lost. Here we go. So for each, so for each index in the list, we're going to grab the compound, and then we're going to read it. What is this? Why does it need inventory.get held stack? Is that right? Read MBT, takes in stack. Oh, so it sets the stack like that. I think that's fine. I don't think that's an issue. Okay, let's try your theory. So we're going to add in 64, and then we're going to add in 10. So I'm going to take these out. Oh, okay, there is a bit of a bug going on here. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but okay. So first of all, let's do this. Okay. So I'm going to put in 64, and then I'm going to put in 10. Oh, it didn't crash that time. This time it's gone to 174, but it didn't crash the game. Why didn't it crash the game? But last time it did crash the game. This is even more interesting, but I think your theory is right, because if it's reaching 174, right, that must be it's adding 10. If I take it out, it's 6,654. So it is obviously adding 10 every single time. Like every tick, even. That doesn't make sense. Check your recipe checking? But my recipe checking wouldn't... it doesn't modify the item. Right, like if I do... get current recipe. Get first match, which it does the match thing, right? So let's go mixer recipe. And it does matching, yeah. New array list. List of inputs. Get stack in slot. Present items. Filter if it's off. Oh. Ah, here it is. I found the culprit. I found the culprit. It increments the stack. What I need to do is I need to copy it. Oh, in fact, look, I can even copy it with a count. So I can say copy with count stack.get count +1. Let's check it doesn't do that anywhere else, shall we? So this is different because this actually modifies it, so that's fine. Yeah, so it was probably that then. Almost certainly. Almost certainly. Hello, Aleatorio. I probably butchered that name. Welcome to the stream. I think that was probably it. In fact, I'm quite certain that was it. Do you remember me? No. Trying to think if I remember that name. I do remember most name, but I don't think I remember that name. There we go. Now we can be happy. So now I can even put in 4 stacks, and I can put in a stack of this. Okay, there's a little bit of an issue here, isn't there? I'm realizing. I don't know why it's doing that. Like, when I take it out, it's doing... I had this issue before. Was it? I probably said it in... Probably talked about... I'm just going to do a little bit of scrolling. Oh, here we go. So I think it's because it's updating more than one, like updating more than once per tick, but it's not doing that. It can't be doing. Because all it does is call update, and update will wait for the end of the tick. So it will wait for the end of Maybe that wasn't the issue. Okay, apparently I fixed it in this commit. So this is when I rewrote the entire syncing stuff. You know what? Is it that? Might be what I think it is. So get input inventory, get output inventory. What is get output inventory? That's get index 1. Is that correct? It is. Get inventory provider is fine. Why does it do that? There you go, it's done it again. That's fine, because these are thinking of different plots, right? Let me get rid of these print statements. These are going to make me lose. Find this B. Oh, you don't want to inline it? Oh, mod. What IntelliJ could do that? There we go. Now we should be able to actually deal with it. Control Alt N to inline. Okay, good to know. We can get it to do it again. See, it's inconsistent about when it does it. But I think it's something to do. You know what it might be? Oh, no, mind that. Why is it doing this? So we have the input inventory, the output bucket input. Let's check again that these are all different things. 0, 1, 3. Because if they weren't, then it's possible it was syncing would be an issue. Oh, could it be the inventory provider? Could it be that I put 2 in the same direction? Yeah, in the same directions. Maybe, but like this is east, this is west. This is nothing. This is nothing. I think it's possible that these need to have their direction. But I think this might need to be direction dot. We'll say north. Not that it really matters. And we'll have this be direction dot south. Now I actually can't test that without either reloading the world or actually can I might be able to just do this. I might be able to do that. It's gonna be hard to test though, because it's inconsistent about when it happens. I think that's fixed it. It seems to have fixed it. What? How did I just get a recipe? Excuse me? Whatever. Yeah, that's fixed it. No, it hasn't. I'm gonna reload the game because it's possible that it's like being weird. If you have more than 10 items in the inventory, it gives you a recipe for a chest. It does? That's weird. That's so weird. But sure. Let's test it. You have to try and see if it'll... yep, it still does it. Why? I'm gonna do this. Go back through. Yeah, there's that I... Don't see anything there. Could genuinely just be that like this has become invalid at this point. Also, that didn't drop the items. Why didn't it do that? It definitely should have done that. Let's quickly state replaced, which is overridden in here. Pulls the on multi-block break. Which, yeah, this needs to be this, and then it also needs to drop the item. That should be pretty simple. Type in it, and then we'll go here, and we'll say set on multi-block break. We're going to do this, and then we're also going to say block entity dot get oh, because it's instance of multi-blockable, right? I just want to check if it's an instance of a mixer. And I can get the wrapped inventory storage, and I can drop contents world pause. Nice, so that will just make that actually drop the item. Small bug fix there. That, I still don't know why it's being weird though. I could have sworn I fixed that, and I thought that I fixed it by having this like on ticks, but I guess not. Maybe I just have too much code running in this tick. I don't know. So those update. let's get rid of these print statements. Not that I think obviously that's caused anything here. Update. I'm not sure, to be honest. And I'm not sure that there's anything I can do to figure it out. The kind of problem I have at this point is that it's very hard for me to debug because I've abstracted so much that it's like kind of a problem now. Oh. That. Oh god, I forget that let's do that. That, and let's do that. That'll be a 1:4 ratio, so that will use those. And yeah, you can see that consumes both water and energy, which is exactly how it should be. Okay, I'm not sure how to fix this slot thing. So I'll come back to it at some point in the future. I think for now, let's try and get some rendering done, so that we can render the items kind of spinning around. I'm not sure how hard it's going to be, to be honest. I genuinely don't know. Famous last. Okay, fine. You know what? I'll add a to-do. Oh, look, I already have a to-do. Oh, that's just because I was leaving. Yeah, I'm leaving that there for now. To fix issue where items in the slots are duplicated as ghost item. How many to-dos do I have now? That is a wonderful question. Should we have a look? To-do. I have 18. That's not that many, to be honest. I mean, a lot of them are kind of hard coding things, rather than like well, yeah, I was about to say there isn't many like fix stuff, but just as I say that, there apparently is quite a few. Interesting. Yeah, there's a few things, but it's not that bad. What is this? Oh right, quick move. Yeah, yeah, I need to come up with like an actual working quick move. Yeah, I need to eat. Draw a different color. Okay. Yeah, those are all fine. Let's go ahead and just clean up mine. Okay, let's go into the renderer. Okay. Oh, yes, I can show you my render code for the fluid now, because I've completely kind of made it a whole thing here. So you can see basically all I'm doing is I've got this in-world fluid rendering component. Basically all it does is it calls this giant render method, which tiles the quads and draws the tiled quads. It's a whole thing to get this to work, but it means that I can very easily just call this.fluidrenderer.render and then just pass in the X positions, the Y positions, the Z positions, and any color multipliers if I want, which is pretty cool. I think it just makes that so much easier to deal with. And I am gonna do like a temperature thing at some point as well, But I'm going to come back to that. You can see I've kind of got a thing here. I got Grok to write this for me. It doesn't really work, so actually I am going to remove it. Lerp color. This might be useful at some point. This is the delta. I'll rename that. Sure, I'll get rid of that. Temperature based color, so that I remember to do that. I'm gonna move that to I don't really have many YouTube script. Night, hello? Hello. That, this needs to be that because British moment. There we go. Okay. I'm not using that at the moment, but it might just be helpful to have it somewhere. Okay, so I'm actually going to be using this probably, so that's good to note. Let's grab the inventory first of all. So let's go in import is entity.get input inventory. This music is a little bit loud. There we go. That's not quite so loud. Okay. So basically what I want to do is I want to go through each of the items. So I want to say input inventory dot stacks. How's stack? So before stack is not empty. We're gonna do this dot context dot get item dot render item stack, and then the model transformation. Is it fixed? I think it's fixed. Hello Romeo, welcome to the stream, and yes, good evening. Welcome. Why is this complaining? Why are there so many render methods? Which one's which? We don't want that one. That one. Don't want that one. Don't want that one. Don't want that one. Huh, is there not just a normal... Yeah, this is... Take this. I'm gonna do this. I know the parameters. Oh, no, we don't want this one. We don't want this one, because this takes in an entity. Well, actually, I guess we could. But I feel like there's a better one. Is there really? Yes, this one. There we go. So that takes in the stack, then the model transformation mode, then the light and the overlay, then the matrices, then vertex consumers, then the world, which is block entity or entity.world, and then the seed, which I think is just 0. I still don't really understand what the seed is for, but there you go. Okay, let's do this. Matrices.push. Let's also pop them. Let's do matrices.translate. For now, we'll just translate it to f.random -0.5. I've got around. Okay, that's not gonna hot swap. That's correct because I've changed the methods. How do you plan to do all the items? I just plan to have them like spinning around. That's all I want it to do. And maybe it'll kind of fade away. We'll see. I'm not entirely sure how I want it to look, but I kind of have something in my head of what I'm aiming for. Hopefully we'll be able to actually see them to. What are you doing now? Did you fix the slot thing? I did kind of fix the slot thing. I fixed the crash, if that's what you mean. But I did not fix the ghost item. So we're gonna leave that. And I will come back to it eventually. Speaking of, let's quickly, I need to write another to-do before I completely forget. Well, actually, this works. That's perfectly. The issue is in. Oh, well, yeah, you can see I've got it commented. Okay. Sure, we'll come back to that at some point. I thought I started the game. Apparently not. Completely forgot. So this is actually going to be really weird. It's not going to do what we think it's going to do. This is going to cause them to like teleport around, because obviously it runs every single frame. Fix that. I probably should have fixed that beforehand, but well. We're gonna need an array in here. So where I've got like stirring rotation, I'm also gonna want a public float, or a public spec 3D. But it's going to need to be like a list of vec 3D, which is going to be the mixing item and I'm going to make that final, well, because that shouldn't actually be changed. And then I can actually grab it from here. But we'll just check that this actually renders the items first, because if it doesn't do that, then it's no use to it. So let's grab bauxite. We'll just do bauxite for now. But we'll do that for now. Yeah, kind of. The Z position isn't changing though, is it? Left at random 0.5. Is it because it's no, it's not. Is it? It might need to be like no, that doesn't make sense. What's happening here? Does this need to be plus 0.5? That puts it there. This is Minecraft music. Yes, wide. That is very weird, I know. What is happening? Why is it doing this? If I do that. Okay, that puts it between there and there. Math.random is between 0 and 1, right? Weird. Okay, let's not do that then, because I don't know that we're going to be able to get that to work in the way we want. So what I'm going to do Oh, it's ended, actually. Speaking of, the music just ended. We can listen to this. There we go. Okay. What we can do in that case is we can say... I'm actually going to want to change this to a for I loop. So, for inventory.held stacks.for-i. And grab the stack, of course. Obviously meant to be indexed like that. Okay, let's grab the vec3d, which is the position, which is equal to entity dot mixing item position dot get index. No, wide, I did not make the tick because we're not doing it. Not right now, anyways. Maybe at some point we'll come back to it, but so this, if we do this, it's gonna crash, which is gonna be a problem. Like a major problem. So I need to see. If not, you can't check if ooh, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? I think I need to set this to have a size, really. And the size needs to just be 6. And then what I should really do is set the default values. But let's actually use a defaulted list. I'm going to give it a size of 6 and a vec3d 0. Is that not how you do that? Of size. There you go. Of size 6, and it's going to be vec3d 0. That's actually not correct. We don't want it to be vec3d 0. We want it to be vec3d. We're going to go 0, 1, 0. Okay. Fantastic. So, let's go ahead and somehow figure out a way to translate this over time. So I'm going to say position.x. How do we want to do? So we're going to need to use the... So let's use entity.getWorld.getTime. I don't think we can just use sign of tick. There's also no way to know which tick it is, I don't think. Oh, unless I actually could do like that. So I can say int tick would be equal to that, and that is an int, I'll have you know. And then we can just say well, we can try it. I'm not sure what that's gonna do exactly. It's obviously gonna make it go up and down in a sine wave. But like exactly how it's gonna do that, I'm not sure. Because kind of what I want, right, is I want it to like start like here, right? And kind of just like go woo and like woo and woo and woo and woo, and then it goes like I don't know. And then it's kind of just, I mean, it just needs to spin around. Really, that's all it needs to do. So let's do float x offset. Is sure, we'll try that. Well, why is it complaining? Because these need to be double. There you go. Add animation tick to partial tick and divide by some value to slow it down. I don't know what the tick delta does, so do we just do it like that? I don't know. This is where I become completely useless, because it's a mixture of math and then also, well, actually it's just math, which is where I become useless. So this might take us a while. But we'll see. We'll see what this does. I think it's better to see what it does and then modify it once we've seen it. That's the best way to figure this out. I'm seeing a whole lot of nothing. One thing that it might be worth doing is scaling it as well. So if we just do matrices.scale 0.5, just because otherwise it's going to be too big, probably. Yeah, I'm seeing a whole lot of nothing. As for why, I don't know. Ah, there it is. Found you. So that's probably because of the times 0.1. I'm guessing. And maybe this one too. Kind of. It's because of the tick delta? Do I get rid of the tick delta? But you need to have the tick delta. No? Do I need to times this by something? Or like, not times it, maybe... I don't know, I'm so lost, man. So I need to like, do that? Oh. Okay, I kind of understand, so... Add it to tick, so add tick delta. Like that. I think that's kind of correct. Um, 1.5 I think is too much, so let's do 1.25. I mean, actually, we do have the width, don't we? So the width is going to be like x1 negative, or x2 negative x1. So let's do... float width is equal x2, and then float depth is equal to that, and then this needs to be times the width, negative like 0.15 or something. Because otherwise that's going to be too big, right? Maybe more than that. Maybe 0.25. That's making it worse. I think it needs to be plus then. I'm so confused. Why has that made it? Why? Oh, because I'm an idiot. That's why. Nope, that's made it worse. Never mind, I'm not an idiot. I was correct. Ah. Okay. You guys are saying a lot of things. You're making me very confused. So, okay, how do I slow it down? That's the important thing, right? Can I do this? And let me move this over here. What does this do? Okay, that's making it faster. If I do times... that makes it slower. So if I just put these in bracket. Now where's it gone? Kind of. Maybe I'm multiplying the wrong thing. Oh, definitely not that. Definitely not that. Okay. I think honestly multiplying the tick delta was the closest thing I got. So I'm just gonna stick with that. I've now got rid of the bracket. I didn't mean to do. Wait. No. I got rid of those brackets. That's why it's been. So this should multiply the tick delta, right? Which is... but you guys have got me so lost. What if I did like what if I do this? What has that done? That has that done anything? I don't think that's doing anything. Like that actually hasn't changed anything. Now what's it done? Hello? Now it's just disappeared. Okay. So honestly, that's not doing anything. That's actually not done anything. Divide the tick inside the sign. Okay. So you're saying I should do that. That's worked, but it's just made it very jittery. Um, like very jittery. Okay, so I'll add it first. Sure. I'm not sure we're getting anywhere here, but we'll see. Okay, that has actually helped. So if I do this, what does that do? That's made it worse. 4 was fine. 4 caused no problem. Right? Never mind, 4 does cause problems. It just means it doesn't. I don't think you should divide by 4. I think you guys are lying to me. I don't think I'm meant to divide inside of here. Okay, that changes that. You know what? You know who's going to be the most helpful person here? Wait. No, I don't want to do that. How can I slow this down? To slow it down, you can reduce the frequency of the sine and cosine functions by dividing the tick value by a factor. Sure, that makes sense. But I did that and it didn't work. It fundamentally just didn't work. Let's try it. See what it does. But that didn't work. I mean, it worked, but it didn't like it's just glitchy. Oh, also, that's not. Does this need to render after the fluid's rendered? Huh. You can't see them through the fluid. Good to know. I need to fix that afterwards. We do want it here though. I realize I actually shouldn't do it by a float though, because that's probably not ideal, because working double. It's very glitchy. Like, I want it to be slower than that, right? So I want to do like 16. But if I do that, look at what it's doing. Which is obviously not correct. One thing I should do actually is I should do that. No, not that. Yeah, because otherwise that's going to be causing some problem. We don't want to do. Right, so why is it doing this? Someone tell me. And meanwhile, whilst you do that, I'm going to ask Copilot to make it go in a loop. In fact, I'm not going to ask Copilot because Copilot's kind of terrible. going to ask my new beloved AI, which is Grok, because Grok seems to actually be good, which is a first, to be honest, because I've never seen any AI be actually good at coding, but here we go. Interesting. I'll have a look at this over here. Actually, I don't need to do that. I forget that I have chat on my other monitor. I have chat over here too. It's also over here. Sure, I'll do it over here. So let's have a look. Grok has come up with some lovely math for, which I might be able to. So the time is where? So we get the position like this. Then let's get the time. So the time is that. Okay, then we want the maximum rate, right, which is going to be a math.max between the between the width and the depth. And then we need to divide that by 2. No, yeah, divide it by 2 because yeah, we need the radius, not the width and depth. And then I will also quickly just minus 0.125 so that I can get something a little more reasonable. And then this is for the complicated math, which Grok has come up with. Spiral factor is equal 1.0f negative time 20 divided by 20. What does that do? So time is the like time. So basically each tick it will, okay, that makes sense, I think. And then it calculates an angle, which is time plus index times 2. I don't know why it does that, but sure. Math.pi. I'm actually very curious to see what it actually has come up with, because it's obviously thinking it's doing something actually useful. So I'm not sure I really trust it to do. But if this works, I'll be very impressed. Like, even more impressed than I was. Grok is somehow concerningly. By the way, I have no idea what I'm typing, so don't question it. And then position is equal. That's what it wants me to do. Now let's see what it does. Kind of. Like, it's kind of doing the right thing. But like, it's not. Maybe I need to get rid of that. . what it's done is it's come up with an angle. It's doing time times 2. Which has actually kind of worked, surprisingly. But then it resets, which isn't what I want it to do. I want it to just kind of keep going around. Let's do this as well, which should give it a bigger radius, right? Oh, no, I see. So it, because, right, I'm an idiot. Ignore that. It's working, but I want it to continue. And I think the only way I can do that is... How would I even do that, though? So what is it? So what is it doing now? Viral. No, it hasn't. Viral factor hasn't. Never mind. What's changed? It's times this by math.pi. Interesting. Why has it done that? Not sure. We look at Twilight Forest, then Twilight Forest probably has horrible code though. Like, I suspect it's atrocious. But sure, we'll have a look. So we're gonna go... A client renderer. What is it? The shield layer? Shield layer. Render shield. Interesting. I kind of think Twilight Forest is just more confusing. This is, as I expected, not great code. And the problem is that it's with an entity as well, which is kind of different. Like, I think I kind of understand what this is doing to an extent. I don't know why it's timesing by math.pi, to be honest. Because that also didn't fix anything. Okay, so that like makes it like staggered like that. Honestly, out of this whole thing, I think the time is what's wrong. Possibly the spiral. Like, if I change this to 40. It doesn't seem to do anything. It's very weird. Like, no matter what I set this to, it doesn't change. Nothing changes. Let me do that. What does that do? So that makes it go faster, right? So this is effectively the speed. Oh, is this rotating the right way, by the way? Yeah, it is. So it's not like anti-clockwise. Good. I think this is a better speed, by the way. But well, I'm not going to be worrying about the up and down yet because we still haven't got the X and Z done yet. I don't want it to do this weird glitchy thing until it stops doing. Okay, Grokka's back again with another thing that it thinks might work. Hey, it's done it. It's figured it out. You know what it's got rid of? It's got rid of the tick delta. That's what it's gotten rid of. The tick delta was causing all of the problems. Yeah, there you go. It's the wrong way around though. This needs to be sine and this needs to be cosine. There you go. But yeah, it was definitely the tick delta that's given the problem. I mean, let's see if I do this tick delta, right? Okay, that it doesn't like that. But what if I do this? Oh, it hates that. What if I do this? Well, that kind of works, but that makes it very fast. Wait, so does this need to be times by a big number or by a small number? I don't know. Both of them make it very weird. We're just going to stick with how it was because that actually worked. Now it doesn't work because I changed something. What did I change? Oh, right. I changed it to plus instead of times. Sure. I wanted to go a little bit faster though. We'll do 0.1. Yeah, because if I times by big delta, it fluffs up everything. Okay, well this is fine. I do want it to like render it as a stack though. How do I actually do that? Maybe ground? Ground? That actually makes them spin for me. Rendering it as a ground item is actually making them spin for me. But I can probably even get rid of my scaling. I can probably get rid of that. Yeah, I can. Okay, now I do need to make the radius a little bit smaller. Hello, Sniffercraft34. Welcome to the stream. There we go. So now we just have to do the Y as well. So let's also do the Y then. So let's do double Y offset is going to be equal to math dot sine. We'll just do a normal sine wave. We can still use like the things we have though. So like angle, I think we can still use that. And the index as well. Wait, what? If I do that, what does that do? Has that worked or what does this stuff? Oh, look at that. That's very weird. Might need to be offset up a little bit or down. Definitely not that. I don't think this is fine. Although they are going into the ground. Oops. I pressed the wrong button. Well, I don't need to do rotation of the items because that's automatically handled for me because we're using a ground transformation. That's nice. Oh, get over here, please. Are they phasing into the ground? Okay, how can I make them different every time? Because it's always the same, right? Yeah, it's always the exact same path, which I don't really want. But how can I make it not the same path every? I also really want to render them as a stack, but I don't know how to do that. There is rotation, I think. Is there not? There isn't. Why is there no rotation anymore? There was. Weird. Oh, you know that scaling has caused a problem. We probably need to scale after translating. How can I... Not plus, it's negative. I don't think I want to do. I think that's causing it to like not go as far as it should. Now, are these phasing into the ground? They are, aren't they? So let's make this 1. Now, how far up are they going? Are they going too far up or not? Nope, they're fine. So do we rotate it afterwards? I assume we probably need to rotate it afterwards. So let's multiply by, what is it? Axis, rotation axis. We want to probably do, yeah, we want Y, right? Because it needs to rotate. So we'll do positive Y. What does that do? Very weird things. I want to figure out this tick delta thing, but it doesn't really work. Very strange. Anyways, that's obviously not. That. Let's do. I mean, sure, but I think radians is fine. Like, I think, like, doing just like that is probably perfectly fine. The thing is, I want it to be more random. How can I make it more random? Because it's always the same. But I can't just use like math.random or something, because like that just doesn't work, you know? Like just the positioning, to be honest. That's all I want to be more random. You should also rotate it on X and Z. I could do. That's very strange. I kind of like it though. I do kind of like it. Like it's kind of it's quite satisfying, honestly. I mean, you know what would be really cool? Like way out of my skill level, but what would be really cool is if they like collided with the things. But that, I think that's way out of my skill level. I don't think that's happened, unfortunately, because I don't even know how I would start with that, let alone, yeah, I have no idea. Should I ask Grok? It might. I'm not sure. The problem is the problem is figuring out if it actually is colliding or not. I think doing the actual like collision, I don't think would be too difficult. Like having it do the physics stuff, I don't think would be too difficult. The difficult part is saying, like, has this arbitrarily rendered item collided with this arbitrarily placed thing? Like, especially when you have to take into account all of these rotations that are happening as well. And Minecraft likes to work a lot in local space instead of, you know, just have them rotate when the blades are moving. I mean, that is the intention, yeah, but they're still gonna collide. It's gonna be almost impossible to get them not to. I mean, you know what, we can see, can't we, right? If I... okay, can we get it to render through the fluid first? Can we figure that out? So if I come into here, it uses... oh no, that's for the model. So I need to look at the fluid rendering. So when I get the render type, I use translucent. maybe translucent, maybe item entity translucent? I don't know. Oh, yes. Yes, that, oh, no, never mind. That does not work. It almost worked. It almost worked. Damn. It almost worked, except now these faces are just gone. And I think that's because they're rendered... Yeah, they're rendered the other sides now. Because originally it was rendering both faces, but now they're being culled because it thinks they're facing a different direction. How to fix it, though? Well... What if... Sheets.translucent coal block sheet. That's a thing? I've never heard of that. Sheets? Okay, I don't know what sheets is. That's not a great start. I'll link it. Translate to yarn. We'll go sheets dot translucent coal block sheet. That is textured render layers dot get entity. It says it's get entity translucent coal, but that doesn't exist. Apparently there's get item entity translucent coal, but it needs to take in a texture, and none of these do that. So I think that's irrelevant, to be honest. Yeah, like these aren't textured. Oh, they're already textured. I think that's basically what it's saying. But the thing is, we don't want culling, right? I basically want this, but without culling. There's... I don't know what emissive is. Oh, that kind of works, except now we can see the clouds through it. Okay, what about... I don't know what effects outline is. So maybe... True? Try false? This is for fluids, yeah, it's not for items. It'd be very weird if it was for item. An item entity coal works, and I know I can make it work, but I really... Because to make it work, I need... Oh, it's such a pain in the butt. So I can do it, but it means I have to rotate the matrices. I can rotate the matrices, and it will work. But that's just going to be really weird. Or is the problem that these are just like rendered wrong? But I can't really fix. Like I think if I, so what faces are not rendered, right? It's this one, right? So this one I think is the back face. I think. So if I were to say matrices.push, matrices.multiply rotation axis.yp or y positive rotation degrees 180, and then say matrices.pop. Now I'll quickly have to say entry temp entry equal entry, and then I'll have to say entry is equal matrices.peak, and then entry is equal temp entry, which I hate. But if I do that, see, that's now put it there, which is fine. But it's not really ideal. So let's not do that. Because that means I'm gonna have to just fuck up all the positions, which I don't want to do. You can also draw quads in reverse. Yeah, but that means I have to rewrite everything, and I don't want to do that. So, not happening. But it's simple, that is not happening. That means I would have to duplicate all of these methods and put them in reverse. But I kind of don't have an option, do I? Also, yeah, sometimes they're phasing through. That's not. Why are they doing? So this doesn't hit you anymore. Why are they phasing through? They're phasing through because obviously the radius isn't good enough. So we'll go 375 maybe. Yeah, they don't phase through. No. Let's just check they still are fine in. Yeah. Good. How do we do this? I know what I can do. I know what I can do. Because I actually made a render type before. I did remove it. In fact, I still have it. I still have it. I might be able to use it. Industria render layer. Here. So is there a way to enable depth test? Will that work? If I do this? Can I not use coal though? Entity trans, I don't want to use coal. Yeah, I mean, I should coal them. I should, because otherwise I am rendering double the faces. Because it means it's rendering the back and the front of each of these. But it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. It's an optimization that can be done in the future if necessary. So I think what I can do is I can now come into here and I can change this to Industria render layers. Yep. Wait, how do I make it render with the correct text? That's a mic. How did I do that before? Also, music stopped again. Not this time. Let's go this one. You can also call blend function on. Will that work though? I feel like that won't work. I can try. It doesn't hurt to try, but I don't think it will work. We can try. Render system. What is it? Enable blend. Wait, are you sure it's blend or is it depth test? To be honest, I don't know the difference. Okay, so you reckon if I do that, disable blend? But don't you also have to do the blend func or something? Like render system dot blend func this. Blend factor. That is definitely a thing, isn't it? Oh no, it's source. Okay, that has done a whole lot of nothing. Are you sure it's not depth testing? I feel like I could be wrong. Okay, yeah, that doesn't change anything. Neither of them do anything. It is the important thing. So the only way, well, there's two options. Either use culling, which means I have to rewrite the entire fluid rendering, or figure out a way to use this. So why is this? That's not. Okay, question. These, how do these work? They apply a texture? Right, because that's a func. I see. Do you think that'll work? If I do that? I kind of want to try it. Because I can't apply to this. No, because this isn't a function. So if I do a... I think this might work, you know. Let me bring this up. No, not this. Render layer. I'm going to bring this over to my other monitor here. that I can kind of see how it works. So on a public static or a private static, render layer dot multi-phase, going to create fluid, which is going to pass in a string name, an identifier, texture, like that. And then basically this. So it's going to be the parameters is equal that. And then that needs to build, which is true. I don't think it should be true. I think it's false. Let's use the culling one, which is, what was it? That one. Okay. And then I need to take this. Okay. And then I need to say return render layer of, and pass in these. Create layer name of name. And what's the other thing it needed? What's that return? That returns a vertex format, draw mode, expected buffer size. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Expected buffer size. Oh, and then it needs the parameter, which is gonna go at the end, like that. But what I need, and the important thing, I think, is that it needs to have, well, first of all, it needs, yeah, so here where it has texture, I'm curious actually, entity translucent. Actually, I might be able to use that, and then what I might be able to do, first of all, let's do this actually. Let's do a new texture, which is going to take in the texture tri-state.false. I don't know what that means. And mip map false. Mip mapping. That's fine. And then it needs to cull. So they cull enable culling. Light map, enable light map, overlay, enable overlay, depth test. Not sure. What is this music, by the way? This is Minecraft music, by the way. Did you know that this is Minecraft music? Can you believe it? Anyways. Right, so then we need a function. So a parent final function of identifier to render layer, which is going to be the fluid factory. Texture, create fluid. But this apparently needs to be util.memoize. And then in theory, that's it. So if I say let's find it. So in here, oh, we have an error in. Where's the error? This needs to take in the atlas thing, which is what the story block atlas texture. I don't know where that is though. Or is that not what it's called? I think it's in like where is it? Where is it? I had it before. Oh, map block out. Was best. Block atlas texture is deprecated. Yeah, because it's this. That's what I was looking. Okay. So then what I should be able to do is in here, I can use Industria layers. And I can use fluid, but this time it will take in an identifier, is the texture. And hopefully that works. Maybe. I can't hot swap that. I don't know why I tried to be honest. And let's see how it goes. Is it? Is it? Okay. Oops, don't want to do that. Hey, it kind of doesn't work. It doesn't work. Let's try something then. I think this is a problem. Let's have a Boolean mip. And the reason is because there we'll have that. And then we'll also have that in here. So Boolean mip. Now, yeah, so the only way to make that work is to make this a by function. of a identifier boolean, and then this is the texture and bitmap like that. And bitmap and row. Oh, I need to fix that in here, which I think this is also going to be true. Let's see. I hate fluid rendering. I'll be honest. I hate it. Because you have to deal with all this transparency stuff. And it's just not fun. Not fun at all. I mean, partially the issue is because of my... Yeah, I mean, that's not working. Because you know why? Because I'm culling. I turned on culling. I need to disable culling. But the problem is disabling culling. What if I use this and then disable culling? Would that work? That would probably not work. Oh, I hate it so much. Let me try this. Okay, this is gonna be the last attempt. If this doesn't work, then I'm gonna have to fix the quadrant, which I really don't want to do, but I'm gonna have to. That will be my only choice. So we'll find out. Here we go. It doesn't work. Yeah, we're back to basically where we started. Okay. That means we're gonna have to fix the quad rendering. So let's go back to what we had then. So let's say render layer, get entity transducing cull, which is this one, and we should see that causes that. So what we need to do is we need to find a way to reverse these methods. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna grab these methods like that. I'm gonna go to Grok and I'm gonna say, can you make a reverse version of these methods? I'm not sure it's gonna work, but worth a try. Hello, Starbro123. Welcome to the stream. Right, so it's come up with these. It's tried to put in a boolean. Not sure why it's tried to do that. Let's try again with now asking it not to mess up the UV. Let's see what it comes up with this time. Okay, no errors. That's a good start. Now, how do I know which one I want to be reversed? Right? Like, I think it's the back face, and then I assume it's the right face? So I think this one needs to be reversed, and then I think it's the right face. Let's try and hot swap that and see what it says, or what it shows. And we'll see. Oh. Grok is pretty smart, so it might have been able to figure it out. But I haven't put it on think mode, which sometimes find that you need to. We'll see. A whole lot of nothing has changed, I will say. I wonder if that means it's reversed the wrong thing or something. Like, I don't really understand. Okay, now nothing is rendering. Oh no. No, these are still rendering. Wait, no, this is rendering and this is rendering. Yeah, so it's exactly the same no matter what I do, right? Let me move this over here so I can see what it does. Okay. So the reversing methods have not worked. Is the issue with the actual draw quad method itself, I wonder? Like, do I need a draw quad reverse? I think it is, isn't it? It's actually the order I draw the quads, isn't it? Or the order I draw the vertices, I mean. So if I edit what I've given and I add in the draw quad method, and I'm gonna make it think. Here you go, you guys can watch it think. Here you go. Hang on, I have a lot of UV things. Must have. Let's see. I'm very curious. If not, then I'll just do it myself, but I don't really want to do that because that's so much effort. But I can if I need to. But if this can save me the time, then I'll take it. Although I do have to sit here and wait for ages. A little bit annoying, but that's because I put it in think mode. I think it's misunderstood what I want, hasn't it? No, it's misunderstood what I meant. See, it thinks... Oh no. Has it done it wrong? I'm not sure. It might be correct, actually. Let's do... Okay, let's try it. Let me do that. I can do that. And then I can do that. Okay, and let's just make sure these methods are used. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be the back that's going to be reversed. And I think it's going to be the right that's going to be reversed, but we'll see in a minute. So we're going to have to restart because it's added the new quad method, of course. Let me just read through what it's done here. So all it's done is it's flipped the UVs, I think. I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's going to work. Because I think that's going to just flip the texture, right? Whereas I want it to actually flip the order of the vertices. So it is still drawing the faces, which is good to know. But it's definitely not drawing them correctly. See what it says. I can't actually read it. Oh, I can read it. It kind of goes too fast to be able to figure out what it's trying to think, though. I mean, I could read the whole thing, but... Bro, this must use so many tokens. Like, oh my god. Okay, so yeah, this is my draw quad method, yes. So this is the reverse method. X2, Z2. I think this is right. This has actually flipped the vertices there. I think that is correct. That should have done what I wanted it to do. And I think the rest will be fine. The reverse tiled X, Y, whatever. Okay. So what I think I've done wrong here is I've done the wrong faces. So the back face was correct. But the issue was the left face. Or yeah, it should be the left face that's reversed. There you go. Look at that. And that means it's no longer drawing both faces either. So it's now culling it too. So we've both had a performance improvement, and we can actually see the things. Isn't that cool? Okay, the next big thing that we need to do is make it so these only spin when there's stuff in it, right? Or when it's running, I mean. So let's grab some sodium hydroxide. And before I actually go and put that in, let's get this to work then. So what we want to do is we want to grab this. So let's say Boolean is, and I am actually going to create that method just because I'm going to use it. So return current recipe is not null, and that, yeah. So that means it's mixed. So if it's mixing, so this needs to basically be the same thing. If entity is mixed. So actually I can just make that a thing. So Boolean is mixing. Is mixing, and that. Right, then what we want to just do is say if is mixing, then we're gonna do this. Or actually we can do even well, no, we need that. We just need to say this if mixing, then we do the rotation. Wow. Well, actually, I'm probably going to need to store the rotation if I want to do this. We'll figure that out when it comes to it. So I need to restart because I've added the is mixing. And let's close grok because we don't need grok anymore. Okay. Let's see. So this should mean that it will only do any rotation stuff when it's mixing. That's the plan. Do you guys think it will work? That is the big question. Okay, currently it's just in the middle. Kind of a problem, but also not really a problem. We'll put that in. And a whole lot of nothing is happening. Interesting. So what that means is that the isMixing method is working. So if the current recipe ID is null, I'm guessing this isn't correctly synced to the client. I'm just going to do... There you go. Look at that. Okay, what I want to do though is I want to get like a float for the progress. Actually, what I want to do is going to be a pain in the butt. I just thought about this. What I want to do is going to be a pain in the butt. Because I want it to kind of fade out over time. Like as it progresses, right? It fades out. The problem is that means I'm going to have to make it translucent. And that's a problem. I might be able to do a new drawable vertex consumer. And then if I do get buffer, render layer, is that not right? Oh, I think I need to cast it to... No. No, it did not like that. Okay. Okay. Let's have a drawable vertex. I think this is what I need to use, but I just don't remember how I use it. So let's find where I use this, because I do use it for something. I use it here. Oh, I just need to cast immediate to the vertex. Okay. I see. I don't think this is helpful. Because even if I do this, that doesn't help me make it transparent, does it? So that makes vertex, which is this, and the render fluid pocket passes in vertex consumers, takes it from here, which is here, which comes from... I thought I had a way to thing. I wonder. What if I do this? What if I... Also, I'm passing in immediate, but I feel like I don't need to do that. Can I not just get it from a vertex consumer provider? Oh, no, because I need to be able to draw. I see. That makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a layer replaceable vertex vertex consumers, which maybe isn't a great name, but I'll come up with something different later on. And this needs to implement vertex provider, and it is going to take in a source, but it's also going to take in a private final render layer. And vertex go the layer, get rid of that. Okay, and then all we need to do is say this.render layer instead of whatever layer is passed in, which is going to be a bit jank. Sure, is that not how you spell? There you go. But it should work. So if I use now a layer replaceable vertex consumer and then pass in render layer dot get translucent, I don't know if this is going to work, by the way. I just thought I would let you know that I really don't know if this is going to work. So translucent vertex. Okay, and then my plan is that I do render system.set shader color. I don't know if this is going to work actually, but I'm going to try. I might need to use a tinted bake model. I'll come back to that if that doesn't work. I'm going to try 0.2. Oh god, 0.2. And I need to revert it back here, because otherwise that's going to make everything slightly transparent. And hopefully that will work. Let's see. I might need to yoink the baked mod. We'll get back to that if it doesn't work, because I do have this tinted baked model, which I think. Okay, so this actually uses a tint index, which isn't great. That might be a problem then. Does anyone know of a mod that renders like ghost items? Like items that are slightly transparent? Does anyone know of any mod that does that? That'd be very good to know. Yeah, I thought it would do that. Because I need to draw it. So I need to do a new drawable vertex. I'm not sure this is gonna help though, but and I need to pass that to media. That's not gonna work. Astral Sorcery does that? Okay, yeah, we can't make it drawable because why'd you say Astral Sorcery if you don't know why'd? Helpful. Because even if I know the mod that does it, I need to know like what in that mod does it. Otherwise I'm not gonna be able to find. Hello Ilya. Welcome to the stream. The mixer is coming along. We're just trying to kind of figure out making them render slightly transparent. This isn't working, by the way, so I'm just going to revert it back to the normal vertex consumers. Make them out a little bit. There you go. I'm sure there's a way, I just don't know how. The what has to be translucent is the items. I want, basically what I want, Ilya, is I want the items to like fade away, you know? Like I want them to, as the recipe progresses, I want them to fade out. Yeah. I don't know how you do that, and I can't think of any mods that do it. And I think there's a reason no mods do it. I think it's because it's very hard to do. Because there just isn't a way to do it. I feel like I have seen it in a mod. I just can't think of what mod it is. There's definitely a mod where you have that. Or you know what? Even if anyone can think of a block that does that, right? A mod that has a block that draws a different block as like a transparent kind of version, right? That would work too, because it's going to be the same concept. I just need to make a baked model translucent, pretty much. So it doesn't need to be a block, it can be an item, it can be no, it doesn't need to be an item, it could be a block as well. I probably will ask in the Fabric Discord if we can't think of a mod that does it. You know, it'll be a mod and then we'll find a mod that does it and then we'll find that it's not open source. Or it has a restrictive license, right? There's a space mod that does that. You mean Ad Astra? Does Ad Astra do that? Or I mean, the only other space mod I can think of is Galactic Craft. So those are the only two space mods that I know of, I think. Unless there's another one that I'm thinking. It's a jank mod. What if I just Google Minecraft space mods? Beyond Earth? That's a space mod, apparently. Oh, which has been renamed to Stellaris. Maybe you meant that one? There is a create space mod, apparently. An add-on, I guess. No, I'm not surprised, to be honest. I think that's it. I think that's basically all the space mods. So if you were thinking of one wide, it's probably one of those. What if instead of transparency, you make them smaller and smaller? That's pretty smart, you know. That would definitely work too. I think, as you say, that's maybe more of a temporary solution. I think it would be cooler if they faded out, but it would definitely work to do that. Wait, did I make the progress thing here? Huh? So float progress is equal entity.get progress over the max progress. And then I need to make that a float. And then basically, if it's mixing, then matrices.scale I'm going to cheat. Why does that only adjust the Y? What? Why would it do that? That's going to be so weird. Like, that's actually going to be super weird if it only adjusts the Y. I'm curious to see what it looks like, but it's going to be super weird. It kind of works. Wait, no it doesn't, because it's the Y. Wait, the Y. Yeah, the Y's fine, isn't it? Anyways, it needs to be one negative on all of them. So that kind of makes them fade away, and then they're back. Nice. So that kind of works. I'm going to add a to-do here. I'm going to say to-do. Make them fade away. Maybe? And then we'll come back to that at some point. I'll probably ask in the Fabric Discord later. And I'll see if anyone knows. There are some geniuses in there, but it's just a matter of luck if you can manage to actually get a hold of one. So yeah. But I think that's pretty much it for the mixer. In terms of like the obvious texture issues, but I'm probably not going to do those anytime soon because I find it very hard to texture like big blocky machines like this. Someday I'll learn, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, unfortunately. It's just like getting the shading is very hard. I don't know how to do. Oh, I also need to ask in the Fabric Discord about the collision thing to get it to like collide on all the sides, you know, which now it's for some reason doing. Why is it doing that? Why is this working? All right, it just doesn't work on the corners still. Yeah. I need to get that working at some point, but that's also going to be something I need to ask about on the Fabric Discord. I think apart from that though, I mean, is there anything else I said we were going to do? Or is there anything that you guys think could make this look better? What do you think? I mean, maybe... Well, yeah, obviously having... Okay, apart from having textures, because textures would obviously make it look better. I think that's needless to say. I mean, I would love I really kind of do want collisions, you know. Oh yeah, sure. I will hit off there. There you go. I would love to have collisions. I can't lie. I really would. It would make this so much cooler. But I also know that it's like so much work. You know? I mean, I'm pretty happy with this, to be honest. Like, even without the fading, it's kind of nice. Like, having it shrink. That is a pretty good idea, Ilya. For that idea. Yeah, you can't see it most of the time because... Well, a few reasons, really. Because there's only 2 items in here. And maybe what it should do is it should... What if it actually... Okay, this might be a really bad idea. What if I got it to render all of the items? So rather than like rendering each one individually... So rather than rendering one per stack, it renders the entire stack of 64. Is that a good idea, or is that a really bad idea? The problem is I'm going to have to change everything to make it work. I think. Because the size here is going to mess up. I mean, I could do like 6 times 64, I guess. And then what I would have to do is I would have to say... I'd have to say, like, I'd have to have another for loop in here. Or something. So, like, if the stack is not empty, then it needs to go for I. Item index, right? In less than stack dot count. Then we do this. And then I just need to do index plus item index. I think. I mean, should we see what that does? Oh, this also needs to be index plus item index, I think. Or is it index times item index? It might be index times item index. But this can be index plus item index. I think. Should we have a look? Wait, this isn't gonna work. I just realized this isn't gonna work. Because... Oh no. No, this will work. Never mind. Never mind. Some of them are going to be in the same positions, I think. But yeah. I think for the most part it's... Okay, so if I grab bauxite and sodium hydroxide, 1, 2. Look at this. I kind of like it. But the problem is it gives the impression that it's actually processing all of these at once, which it's not. It's only processing 4 by 1. Right, it's only going, it's a 4-to-1 ratio, so it's only pushing 5 at once. I mean, is that fine though? For it to like lie? I mean, the problem is it's also too uniform, right? Like this is way too uniform. Because I think what it's doing here isn't gonna work. What if I do this? I think that's gonna be really... Yeah, that's not gonna work. Item index. This needs to be index times 64 plus item index, I think. And then this needs to be the same. Is that right? I think so. But I can see that's not working. So I don't know if it's just like not rendering them all, or how to stack. So it goes through each stack, and it goes through the stack count. I'm not sure why it's not working. Oh, because it's dividing by this. So this needs to be that times 64. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Not quite. There we go then. Wow. I'm not even lagging. I'm actually impressed. Bear in mind that's rendering 384 up. Well, I guess that's not that many. Yeah, this isn't gonna work though. Now why, you may ask? I don't know. How do I make the offset bigger? Like between them? Like that's obviously help. Like I just want to make them spaced further apart. I should be able to do that. And maybe divide it by a bigger number? Does that help? Like if I do 128. No, that does not help. Um, not quite. How can I do this? I just want to spread them further apart. Evenly spaced items around this. I'm gonna yoink this. I'm gonna go back to my good old trusty friend. Let's see what it says. Should I make it think or not? I will make it think, because otherwise I think it's gonna get stuck. And I think it would just give me something completely wrong. Whilst we're waiting for that, I'm gonna mess around with trying to get something, maybe? I mean, I would have thought it's something to do with the angle. But maybe it's not. So the music stopped again. Oh my god. I don't believe it. It's still thinking. It usually takes about 90 seconds. Oh, it's gonna make a method to do it. That's kind of an... Oh no, it's not. Modify the radius calculation to use a larger value. Example, change it to... Well, no, I don't want to increase the circle's size. I think it's thought too much about this. I think making it think has made it think too much. Okay. Try without thinking. Increase the radius. No. Current angle divides the circle into 64, which may be too many if you have fewer items. Base it on the number of items. Well, no. I don't think it understands. Yeah, I do want to keep... Sure, let's try this. So this is for the Y offset. But all it's done is it's added a ×2. Not sure that helps. Yeah, that's just made the whole thing bigger. Which is not what I want. Oh, it's because it's using the index. That's why. Why did no one say anything? There you go. That's more what I was looking for. It's still too uniform. Oh my god. That's crazy. Did it give me any other suggestion on why? Sorry, what is it doing? Oh, I see. I mean, sure, you could do that. Doesn't really make a difference, but oh, it also uses a. I see. I see. It also failed to finish. Anyways, I don't actually want it to do this because it, as crazy as it is, it's not actually good. You know, it doesn't look good. So we are going to, and also yoink this. But yeah, that is going to be it pretty much for this stream. I'm going to hot swap this because I can. But yeah, that's going to be it for this stream. Hope you guys have, you know, had fun and whatnot. And yeah, next time we'll be back probably with something else. We'll be moving on from the mixer since we're done with this now. So next will be the next process in the what's it called? I've completely forgotten what it's called. In the Bayer process. So the next one is digestion. So we're gonna have to make an autoclave apparently. Oh, never mind, we don't have to do that. No, we don't need an autoclave because we're basically pretending that this is also an autoclave. Yes, this is indeed all just to get aluminium. Well, this is to get high purity aluminium. Be clear. You can still like you can still do the normal like furnace, melt it down kind of thing. But this is to get like a good solid amount of aluminium. And obviously at some point we'll have to make a way to make sodium hydroxide, but we can get onto that. That shouldn't be too difficult anyway. That's not too big of a process. But yeah, we're gonna make we're gonna make a thing that basically is gonna give us red mud, which is a whole thing, bunch of iron and silica and whatever impurity. So that will be the next thing, and then we have to do clarification, which is filtering it basically. So we make some filter thing, and then we use precipitation and then calcination. And then after that, we have to do the electrolytic stuff to turn the alumina into aluminum, which will be good fun. And at least that part is reusable. This stuff, it's going to be somewhat reusable for other stuff, but like not all of it. So it'll be good when we can get to something that can be reused for a lot of stuff. Anyways, yes, as I said, that is going to be it for this stream. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. And yeah, I'm going to obviously ask about some things on the Fabric Discord, since I need to know getting items rendering transparent and also getting this hitbox working as well. So yeah, I will see you all in the next stream. So goodbye, everybody.